Europe stands in tense silence as news spreads of Napoleon's dramatic return from exile. Across the continent, armies mobilize, while diplomats warn that a decisive clash is now inevitable. The camera glides over the muddy ridges of Belle Alliance, revealing Wellington's defensive positions arranged with mathematical precision. Mist drifts through the fields where the fate of Europe will soon be decided. At his forward command post, Napoleon surveys the enemy lines from horseback. Officers crowd around his field map as a cold wind stirs the flags and signals the battle to come. Wellington's strategy becomes clear across the miniature battlefield. Hougoumont on the right, La Haye-Sainte at the center, and Papelotte on the left. Three strong points intended to hold the Allied line together. The battle erupts with thunderous artillery fire. Explosions carve fresh craters into the wet soil, and rising smoke marks the beginning of the long and brutal struggle. French infantry push through the orchard and woodland as they advance on the fortified farm. Musket smoke billows between the stone walls as the defenders resist fiercely. Formed into tight defensive squares, British light infantry brace for the French advance. Officers shout commands as musket volleys and drifting gunpowder smoke fill the air. Tens of thousands of French infantry march forward in dense columns. Tilt-shift perspective reveals the immense scale of the assault sweeping toward the Allied line. The Scots Greys surge forward, crashing into the French columns with overwhelming force. Horses rear, and riders shout as the chaos of steel and momentum breaks the French formations. French batteries unleash devastating fire across the ridge. Earth and debris scatter into the air as each shot lands with deadly precision, shaking the Allied defenses. The central farmhouse, battered and burning, finally collapses under relentless attack. French troops push through the flames, gaining a critical foothold at the heart of the battlefield. The Allied center bends under the strain as officers struggle to hold their regiments together. Faces tighten with desperation as the front line shrinks dangerously. Recognizing the moment, Napoleon commands the elite Imperial Guard to prepare for the final blow. Their dark uniforms and disciplined silence signal that the Emperor is committing his strongest force. The Imperial Guard marches forward in perfect order, their banners fluttering against the haze. The battlefield holds its breath as the fate of the Empire rests on their advance. The British Guards rise from the reverse slope, revealing themselves at the last possible moment. With a single shouted command, they surge forward to meet the advancing French. For the first time in history, the Guard falters. Their line breaks under the British assault, and soldiers begin stepping back in disbelief and confusion. Through the distant woods, the black uniformed Prussian infantry emerges. Blücher's arrival seals the fate of the French army and transforms the battle into a collapsing trap. From horseback, Napoleon witnesses the disintegration of his once unbreakable army. His posture reflects exhaustion as officers scramble around him in growing panic. The French forces scatter in every direction, abandoning artillery and flags as they flee. Chaos spreads across the field as the last hope of victory disappears. Smoke rises gently from the ravaged battlefield as Allied forces stand victorious on the ridges. Waterloo becomes the turning point that reshapes Europe, ending Napoleon's rule once and for all.